Wait, so you mean to tell me that my students get a potty break, but I don't? And my 7-hour day doesn't include my planning time? Everyone, what is up? My name is Asia and this is my YouTube channel, It's Miss Lang. If you are new to my channel, again, my name is Asia. Oh, and as you can see, this is my cat, Theo. And today's video, I'm sharing with you all 15 things you should know before becoming a teacher. Alrighty, so let's get into it with tip number 1, patience. Patience, patience, patience. If patience is something you do not have now, you got to start working on that. If you are someone that just can't stand the idea of someone tugging on your shirt, saying teacher, 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 asking the same question, even though you said the answer probably about 1,000,000 times, and it really doesn't matter if it's kindergarten, 8th grade, 10th grade, 3rd grade, it is bound to happen. So if you can't deal with that, you better learn quick. Okay, so tip number 2 is commitment. Now, as teachers, we must be committed because we are teaching the next generation. We are teaching the next doctors, lawyers, teachers, astronauts, presidents. You get the picture. So we must be committed and just give them everything, all of the knowledge we have, teach them the right way. That way, they can continue to advance our world. And remember, we're living in this world, so we must teach them the best so we can have the best. Also, you must be committed because when you are teaching, you are going to work outside of your 6 to 7 to 8 hour contract. That means lesson planning. That means grading, attending professional development meetings that take place after school, going to your, PLC meetings or work meetings that take place after school. So it's not your typical, 6, 7, 8 hour job. Plan to do work outside of the actual school teaching day. And if you are committed, you will be completely fine. Now, I don't want to scare you and think that you're going to be working all of these hours and bringing work home every single day. Yes, you will when you're first starting, but once you get a pattern and a routine and learn how to manage your time, then things will start easing, slowly, and you could do all that while you are at school. But at first, it may not be that way, but just remain committed. All right, tip number 3, or the third thing you should know before becoming a teacher, difficult parents. Yes, I said it, difficult parents, and when you come across a difficult parent, it could be a challenge. But guess what? You need to accept that not everybody is going to like you. Not everybody is going to like your teaching style, and that is okay. But what you can do to prepare, so if you do encounter a difficult parent, which you most likely will at some time in your teaching career, is do your research. Or best of all, talk to your coworkers, talk to your partner teacher. They have lots of experience and they have been through these situations with difficult parents, so listen to what they have to say. It may really help, and they may already know some of these parents and can give you all the tips and tricks so you are a pro when it comes to dealing with difficult parents. Number 4 is technology. Now, this should be a no-brainer because as we continue to advance and transition into a digital world, it is so important to know, a lot about technology. Now, I'm not trying to say you need to go out there and become this crazy tech guru savvy person, but get familiar with the different devices. Aware yourself of some of the really important and popular educational websites and applications. And if you follow other teachers on social media platforms, observe what they're posting about, especially if it's regarding technology and different things that you can implement in your classroom. That way, when you get hired on, you already have those technology skill sets, which make you more valuable, and you'll feel much more comfortable in your classroom when it comes to implementing some of those important technology devices and applications and websites. Okay, so the 5th thing is time management. If you want to survive, you must learn how to manage your time. So if you want to have that stress-free life or have, time for prior commitments, your friends and your family, then you must be prepared. So a way to manage your time is come in early to work. Come in early so you can focus on lesson planning, emails, and just do the tasks that need to be done. Or you can decide to stay later after school and again, do all of those tasks that must be done in a timely fashion. Now, a lot of teachers get burnt out because they do not know how to manage their time. So if you're already researching this and looking into strategies you can implement, it's going to make your routine and your pattern much more easier, and you will be able to manage your time more effectively without getting burnt out. Okay, the sixth thing is the internet. It is literally going to be your best friend and your lifesaver. The best thing about the internet is that, well, it's free, and two, it can really advance your teaching career. I mean, you can search lesson plans and strategies on teaching and classroom management, and you can enroll in free or really cheap professional development courses. You can connect with other teachers, you can read their blogs and their messages and truly learn a lot from all of these teachers on these various platforms. So use the internet, take advantage of it. It is free and it has all of the answers to any of your questions. And I mean, you can really gain some insight and you can really grow as a teacher. So use the internet. I promise you it's your best friend. All right, number 7 is flexibility. As a teacher, we must have that flexible mindset. So knowing that you may have to reteach a lesson or implement certain accommodations for students, or you may even have to modify a lesson. And you have to be flexible, especially for those times when you have that classic fire drill that cuts into a test, or maybe a really important lesson that you planned that was engaging and interactive. And when things like that happen, you have to know that, hey, I'm not going to get to it today, or hey, I may need to push it back for tomorrow or next week, and that is okay. Just as long as you are prepared and you have that flexible mindset, you will be okay and you will be a great teacher. Okay, number 8, always be prepared. As a teacher, you never know who's going to walk through that door. So when you are prepared, you are more likely confident, you will present or teach better, and everything will be kind of easy breezy. So some ways to be prepared are have your lesson plans ready. Have some extra ideas in the back of your head just in case if a lesson doesn't go as planned, or maybe you finish it, quicker than you had planned as well. Also, there are those fast finishers and there are those students that need, a little more extra time when it comes to assignments. So make sure you have some ideas and materials that you can implement. That way you're not scrambling around and just feel, all mind boggled, and you have something ready so those students can start working on that. So be prepared, because then you will be more successful. Okay, the 9th thing is organization. This is an important thing to know when you're becoming a teacher. You are going to have lots of data and papers and this and that and student work and things from your principal. It can be easy to get it, really messy and just feel like, oh my goodness. And that can lead to stress. So just be organized from the start, label things. Have a plan on how you want to organize things, whether it be filing or however you want your students to turn things in. If you create a really organized atmosphere and get your students to also be organized and kind of follow your organization plan, then your life is just going to feel much more calmer. You're going to, have a clean and welcoming environment. And when you are organized, that means, you have a good mindset and a clear heart. Remember, I think Rachel Hollis said this, that your space reflects how you are feeling. So if your space is a hot mess and you have papers and pencils and this and that all over the place, that probably means that you're really stressed, and you can sometimes put that on your students, and we don't want that. So make sure you have a clear space, a clean space, an organized space, because you will be a happier teacher. Okay, number 10, this is a big one, classroom management. I'm going to be straight up with you. This is probably the most important thing you can do as a teacher. Maybe you don't have everything else together. That is fine. But you need to have your classroom management together, because however you manage your classroom will reflect your teaching. If you cannot manage your class and you cannot manage the behaviors and all of that jazz, it will be a very stressful and tiring, exhausting day, and you may want to like slowly ease away and say, why did I get into teaching? And we don't want that. So start researching right now. After this video, you're going to Google and typing in classroom management strategies. Now, you know, you only want to start off with a few because you have to train your kids and get your students used to this. So do your research, pick some of your favorite ones and try them. It may work for one class, it may not work for the next class. So that is why it's good to just kind of have, you know, a bag full of different classroom managed strategies. So a popular one is like attention grabbers. For example, I would say something like holy moly, and then my class would say guacamole, and that is a fun and engaging way to get your students' attention. Now there are a lot of other classroom management strategies such as table points and teacher versus students, but make sure you Google, you research, you ask other teachers, go on Teachers Pay Teachers and maybe download or purchase some things that focus on classroom management. But that should be the number one thing you really focus on before jumping into your classroom. Number 11, you may not want to hear this one, but as a teacher, you need to be ready to spend your own money. Yes, spend your own money, like the money that comes into your personal bank account. Now, do not get me wrong, a lot of districts do provide some type of funding for teachers, especially new teachers, because the early years of teaching are kind of when you do spend the most money because you're just starting. You may not have everything. So they may give you, you know, some type of funding to go get things that you actually need for your classroom. Most districts will provide the furniture, but again, every district is different. So regardless if they give you money or not, still be prepared to spend your own money so you can, you know, gather and utilize the things that you want to put in your room to make it look, you know, special and engaging and just a fun environment for your students. Now, maybe when you're starting off, you may not have all this money, but there's a lot of ways to go about it. You know, you can go to your thrift stores, you can get hand-me-downs from other teachers, go to garage sales. You know, there's this thing called Donors Choose, which I will link a video to. I have a friend that explains all about it, so make sure you check that out. And there's other things you can do with certain bank accounts, especially if you have like a credit union that's designed for teachers. Sometimes they have certain loans or programs you can enroll in. That way you kind of have some money there so you can make your classroom the classroom you want to thrive in. Number 12 is get close with some people. Now, when I say that, I mean you want to get close with everyone at your future schools or your current schools. So like your students, the parents, your partner teachers, all of them. But there are 3 people specifically that you want to get close with because some things can happen, right? Some good things can happen. You want to get close with the principal, the secretaries, right? The people that run the front office of your school, and the custodian. If you build some strong connections, some true professional relationships with those 3 people, you just wait. When you need a favor, when you need support, when you are in, you know, some type of trouble and you need them there, they will have your back. And those are some of the 3 most important people that walk that campus. So just keep that in mind. Do as I say and just watch. Watch what will happen. Number 13. That was my drum roll. Bathroom, 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 bathroom breaks. They're non-existent. I'm totally joking. Well, kind of. But as a teacher, you need to learn quick when all of the scheduled breaks in your day are scheduled, because those are the only times you can go to the bathroom. So you really need to monitor your water intake. Of course, like don't dehydrate yourself, but just be aware of how much water you're drinking and kind of find a routine. That way when it's break, you can use the restroom, and when you come back, you don't feel like you're going to explode or have an accident, because we don't want that. Now, yes, our students get breaks because they raise their hand and you let them go, but it's not like that for teachers. So really be aware of your schedule. And of course, if you really have to go to the restroom and you can't wait till your break, just call the office, tell them what you gotta do, and someone will come cover your classroom. Or if you have one of those classrooms where there's a door that leads into the room next door, just tell that teacher, and if it's okay with however your school runs, that teacher can just kind of monitor your classroom while you quickly go and come back. But you don't want to be that teacher that's always leaving during class time to use the restroom, even though we're human. But just be aware of all of your schedule breaks throughout the day. That way you can just go during those times and kind of monitor your water intake throughout the day. All right, number 14, engagement. Now, you don't have to have all these disco strobe lights and do backflips on the desk, but you want to have some fun in the classroom. That is how you will get your students engaged. Learn what your students are interested about and then try to tie that interest into the lessons. Ask your teachers, or your partner teachers what they're doing in their classroom so you can kind of bounce ideas off one another. Go on to different social media platforms where teachers share ways that they are keeping their students engaged. If your students are not engaged, they're not going to follow along and they're not going to really learn to the best of their capabilities, and it's just going to be a long, boring day. And we don't want that, Now, not every single second of the day has to be, super fun and feeling like it's a party, but do your best just to be excited and have a fun environment, and that will keep your students engaged. Right. Finally, the last thing you should know before becoming a teacher is number 15, you are amazing. You are so amazing for saying, I want to be a teacher. I want to go into this profession, because not anyone can be a teacher. It takes someone really special to want to be a teacher, to want to make an impact on the world and change little students or any students' lives. You are teaching the next generation. You are teaching the next president. You are amazing for wanting to take on such an important role, and that is being a teacher. Again, you are amazing. Okay, that is it for this video on the 15 things you should know before becoming a teacher. Thank you for joining in to my channel. It's Miss Lane. My name is Asia. Please like this video, leave some nice comments, and make sure you hit that bell and subscribe to my channel so you are always in the know of when I upload a video that just may help you out. And before we go, remember, you can learn anything through books, experiences, and Google. Until next time.